Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we made it to another tax season and we're still here, we're still alive, we're still thriving. So, if you're watching this video, you are either three groups of people. You either filed your taxes already, or you have filed an extension, or you have totally ignored your taxes and you have not filed your taxes yet, nor have you filed an extension. If you are number three, please, for the love of God, reach out to my team. Let's make sure that we get you filed as soon as possible to help minimize interest and penalties, because for every day that you don't file your taxes, you are accumulating interest and penalties every single day. But that's not the conversation of today. We are going to be talking about millions of taxpayers who filed an extension for their taxes. Okay, so there's advantages and reasons why people file an extension. I talked about the benefits of that in a previous video. I'm not going to be talking about that today. If you want to have a refresher there, my team is going to put the video here on the screen and you can watch that video there. But I want to talk about the people who don't have a benefit to filing an extension, and they are angry and frustrated that they have been put on extension even though they already have had all of their documents ready to go. They might have already sent it to their accountant back in January, February, or early March, but their accountant might have overlooked it, or their accountant might have was just overwhelmed during tax season and then they did not finish the taxes on time, so they were put on extension even though they did not need more time, nor do they benefit from filing an extension. So if this sounds like you, where you have a simple tax return, you don't really have a business, you only have a W-2, you have one or two 1099s, and you have one rental property, you have been very good with doing the bookkeeping and record keeping throughout the year, and or maybe you even have a bookkeeper, right? You already have a bookkeeper. They've been doing the bookkeeping for you. So by January 15, you were done with the books and you've already sent it to your accountant. And I hear this all the time where you sent your documents to your accountant already months ahead of tax season. Every week you're following up with your accountant, you're checking up with them. Hey, Mr. Accountant, how's my taxes? Are we done yet? Do you need anything from me? Do you need any documentation from me? And then either telling you, we'll let you know if you need anything, or even worse, you get no response from them whatsoever. And then a couple of days before tax deadline, you reach out to them and they finally respond to you and tell you that they have not filed your taxes yet and they're going to put you on extension. And then now you're mad, you're pissed, you're upset, you're like, dude, like, what have you been doing for the last couple months? I have sent you all my documentations. You have everything that you need. So you didn't need more time to go and find more deductions. You already have everything that I have. It's only a W-2, a 1099 from a property management company, and some rental expenses. Why haven't you filed my return yet? And they can't really give you an answer besides, yeah, I'm sorry, but just been very busy with tax season, so there's been a backlog. And then you're thinking to yourself, what do you mean there's a backlog? I was one of the first people to give you my tax documents. What is going on here? So if you're one of those people, I feel your pain. I hear it all the time from new clients that we get to have it from. So what's the problem now? So the problem is that, first of all, if you think you're going to owe taxes, hopefully you paid an automatic extension payment. If you did not, remember, an extension to file is not an extension to pay. So you are accumulating interest every time that you don't pay your taxes. So you might have a late payment fee. So that's something to be concerned about if your accountant filed an extension for you, even though it doesn't really benefit you, right? And on the flip side, if you're expecting a refund and you were planning to use that refund for something else, now you have to wait, a couple months until your accountant finally gets around to file your taxes, and then it's going to take the IRS a couple weeks to process your payments, your refund. And then that's depending on what state you are in, that can take even longer, because some states, like the state of California, take even longer than the IRS to process refunds. So that's something to keep top of mind here. Okay, so if that's you, I totally understand your frustration. You did your part, and now it's really the accountant's fault that now you're an extension and it's holding you up. And even worse is we have clients who need a tax return filed to get their mortgages approved. If you're in that situation, that's even more frustrating. So again, that's why it's very important to be working with an accountant who is going to be communicating with you about your taxes to manage expectations. And also, it should have the proper system so that the second that you submit all your documents to them, they should be working on your tax return right away, right? So I would say that once you have submitted all your tax documents to your tax professional and you don't hear back from them within a week, you should definitely reach out to them, follow up with them, even during busy season, right? Like you want to make sure that there's communication between you and your accountant to make sure that they did not overlook your taxes, right? Because in the end of the day, even though your accountant is lagging to file your taxes, you're the one as a taxpayer who's going to be responsible for the interest and penalties. So it's not an excuse to tell the IRS like, hey, the reason why a few days today is because of my accountant. At the end of the day, it's still your responsibility to make sure that your taxes are filed on time. So communication with your accountant is crucial, right? So if you feel like you're in that situation and you're frustrated with your accountant, this is the best time to be looking for a new accountant who can better serve you and your hard-earned money that you're paying them for their professional services. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. And if you were put on an extension and you feel like you shouldn't have, don't worry, because your accountant handles that and we will take care of you. Okay?